Welcome to Navarrero's online showcase video, M.I.A. edition. Today we are back with the final part of our iron ore delivery journey. Finally, it's a bit of a trip, but hey, I made this area specifically to be a bit challenging and not completely straightforward. But yeah, we loaded over all the iron ore from the hoppers into the gondolas, so those are all almost full. But as full as they get because I don't care about the last 2 units per train or per gondola. It's finally time to get the road engine going again. This is of course the one that we also use to get the stuff up here to begin with, our iron mine supply that is. And for some reason, okay, I finally made it in. So let's get this engine started up and see if we can actually use it for the task ahead. I recently doubled up the amount of gondolas that I have, so I haven't really tried those yet. I suspect they will be heavy, with 20 metric tons of stuff on each gondola. But the track up ahead is also mostly 1%, I think 1.5 in some places. Starting out at 1.5 and then going down to 1% as far as I'm aware. And we just have to make it over the back of the mountain at some point, and then it's all going to be downhill from there. Hopefully not metaphorically. Okay, so just rolling through here. I need to go onto that track. It's always a bit difficult figuring out the siding here, especially if you're looking at the map. It's not all that clear. And I always kind of want to just click the physical switch from here, but of course that's not how that works. That would be too easy. And we should be making contact here in a moment. Decently, gently. That's also something that I noticed about the couplers from the large gondolas. They kinda just glitch through each other. Like in this case as well. I don't know if it was always this way or if it has something to do with the couplers. Because they might be not quite as long, so maybe the game is just doing it like this now. Gonna quickly check all the brakes, but from how far we rolled, I think we might be good. But just double checking so that I don't shoot myself in the foot here. Yep, that seems alright. Let's get back to the engine, take a look at the pressure and see how that's going. I think it might still be a bit too cold. But that gives me some opportunity to plan ahead. So the track that we are going to follow is this one right here. Gonna go down south until we get to this point, which is a low point in the mountain back, and from that point on we can just go the other direction. Past the Railway Express Agency. And I mean, I might as well flip it. Let's see, we could go through here. I think we have enough space. I flip those switches and this one right here, this one as well. I don't know if we have any free sidings over here. That might be a problem. Okay, the leftmost one seems to be free. But this is something that I could maybe add in the future, just having another siding to go through where we don't park any cars on or anything. But right now there's already so many switches, one after the other. It's gonna be tough fitting another one in. Maybe on the inside, just passing by, but reconnecting there, I don't know. That's a bit iffy. But hey, then again, I could also just take one of the helper engines here and put some stuff on a different track if I need to. That should work out. Okay, almost 400 degree, and that should mean that it is at full pressure again. I can't even tell if I have a pin in, but I think, yeah. So let's get going. We have a bit of a journey ahead of us, but thankfully we're not using just the slow geared engines anymore. This one can actually go up to speed, and decent ones at that. But I'm definitely feeling the weight here. Usually the Lima is a bit quicker to start out with, but yeah, it's pulling a lot today. So I'm not entirely sure if adding another 6 cars would really be advisable. The other way to make it work out with how much stuff we get at a time from the iron ore mine would be to go down to 9 gondolas, so a bit less than we have right now. But hey, we still seem to be accelerating, so this should be good, and we are definitely on the grade right now. It's just the question if I want to do one of these deliveries every time I come up with my train from the iron mine, or if I want to do it every second time. But if I want to do it every second time, can the engine still handle that? Right now it can, but yeah, adding 50% more might be a different story at that point. Theoretically, I could have also made another longer track around here. We are already having a bit of a detour. And just, instead of going here, going around the bottom part, at that point we would be... it wouldn't be that much difference. Right now we start climbing at 1.5%, and then at this point we are pretty much on 1% incline. But if I went down this way, then I would need to climb up again 1%, so it's kinda the same, only longer and later. So not really saving that much. What I could also do is just save a bit of money, get another C125, and yeah, that will definitely do it. But I'll have to see about it. I'm not entirely sure. It's also nice that there are still some things to work out here. But right now I'm getting the feeling that this playthrough is at some point in the near future going to get to a legitimate ending. So nothing cut short because the game isn't really working out, but more like we have done everything that we can do over here and we are just finished with it. The one thing that I still want to... Why did part of the train just disconnect? I swear, this is an issue that I've been having with this entire setup for a while now. The gondolas are just really unstable for some reason. You know what, I'm gonna park the engine here and I'm gonna run after the cars because they might be falling down or something. Okay, we are still rolling up, but for some reason the link just gave out and said goodbye. Okay, let's see, we have 5 cars right here. We have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars, so that's 12, that's okay. Nothing fell off the track, it's just that the link didn't want to do it anymore. So no idea how that happened. And now we gotta push backwards and get the cars again. This is something that I completely forgot about. I haven't been doing these deliveries that much for a while. Also, I should probably take into account the capacity of the smelter. Okay, for some reason that's a valid connection there. I mean, I don't think we ever deliver too much, but right now we're already having quite a substantial amount. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. And after number 7 we should have... Ah, that's a break. Yeah, the couplers are just kind of messed up here. So yeah, the capacity of the smelter is a bit of a concern at some point. I mean, it can hold 1,000 items, so that should be alright. But right now we are already delivering 240, so that's almost a quarter of that. Gotta keep that in mind. So if I go up to 180, that would be 360. That's a decent chunk of that industry filled up. So we wouldn't be doing this kind of delivery too long, or too often, I mean. So I think at that point it might be better to just go down to 90, 9 cars, 180 units. I think that would be enough. It might also help prevent this kind of stuff from happening that we just saw, and would make these things a bit easier to handle. After all, right now, I think we could do the supply run for the iron mine using a weaker engine. And since I want to use the same engine for delivering the gondolas, I don't think I should be restricting myself too much there. So right now, going down to 9 gondolas again seems to be the way to go. I'll have to think about it, but we'll see. And yeah, when it comes to the playthrough, getting it to a proper ending and all of that, I wouldn't be against the idea of providing a download at the end of it. Maybe even 2 versions. Like one where everything is built up and you get all the engines and cars and everything. And maybe another one where it's only the track and a few starter items. But I think for any of those versions, I mean, first of all, there's a major problem with that. That is, and you may be able to help me out here because you are the guys watching, you're not the person who built the entire thing here, that's me. Do you think that anybody could actually figure out how to do this stuff here, especially with things like the iron mine, how those supply runs would be working out? Because there are a few things that I specifically built up for my requirements, and I worked long enough with all of that to understand how it's supposed to be done. But if I were to leave the game for a year or something, I think I myself could be running into problems where I don't really recognize how the things are supposed to be used anymore. So I have no idea how that would be for somebody who maybe watched the videos or not even that and then just jumped into it. I'm considering to maybe actually make some sort of document to accompany the whole thing. Just telling you if you want to use that run, if you want to do something on that industry, that's how it's supposed to work. No idea. And yeah, for a version without all of the engines and everything, it would be even weirder in a way. Because at that point, there are these very specific setups for specific things I want to do. And that means that you would just kind of end up either completely rebuilding what I did or trying to figure out what I did and trying to build towards that again. And I should be able to go a bit quicker here. But after the last incident over there, I don't trust the gondolas anymore, so it's a bit iffy on them. You know what, let me put on another save here. Just in case. I think they cut loose again. Absolute clown show with these cars. Well, I tried getting there and reconnecting them, but no, there's no link in there, so that doesn't work. Jesus Christ, this game is... Finally. Now I need to get back onto the car, and I'm so glad that we can fly now. Oh yeah. I think I'm on like a 2% grade, but for some reason that still doesn't get the cars rolling down. That definitely used to work better. I think that's a sacrifice they needed to do for the optimization. I should have maybe counted how many cars there are. Maybe there's one in the ditch now. I thought we could have like a scenic run down to the smelter, but yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can smell a pattern. I don't know why it would be occurring. Fuck it, full brakes. Full brakes is usually a good way to destroy something, but I don't know. This seems like it's not really worth reloading, and I may have actually lost the link right before I hit the save button. I'm not entirely sure about it. Yeah. But yeah, when it comes to the end of the series, I wouldn't mind having the download, but again, the main problem here, my consideration is if it would be useful for anybody without having like a long document talking about how basically anything needs to be done here. This is very specific to my needs at the end of the day. Okay, I need to go up quite a bit further. Let's take a look at the map. Yeah, we are still a few meters out from there. And also, when it comes to finishing the series, and especially a version for the download where you can start again, I would like to provide the wheat farm and everything in that industry chain as well. So that might be another thing to go for. Okay, still a bit more. Also another goal that I could be aiming for at this point, and I'm considering that definitely, would be owning all of the engines in this game right now. Most of them I have already, a lot of them I have multiple of, but there are some that kinda slip through the cracks, so to speak. Okay, I definitely need to pull some brakes here to get the band back together. The second time this trip. I don't know if that's actually what I wanted. Yeah. The thing was flipping back and forth between the links, so I wasn't sure if or between the couplers, so I wasn't sure if I actually added the pin or removed the other one. Do I still have any pulled brakes here? Not that I mind pulling the brakes, but okay, we're already on the back part. I feel like we should be going quicker right now. I don't really want it to go quicker, but it's just weird that it doesn't. Ah, dang it. And we are about to get onto even ground, and I would like to get into the engine and still hit the brakes beforehand. Because this certainly feels a bit spicy. Yeah, now we should be good. And this should also lend us a considerable amount of money. Usually I think it's... it used to be 200 for 10 units, so 200 per regular hopper. But it got increased to 300 for some reason, because, well, it obviously didn't pay enough beforehand. I mean, it certainly did. So this should be 600 per gondola. We have 12 gondolas, so 6k, 7.2k. Not too shabby. Still would enjoy it more if links didn't randomly give out, but yeah, that's a whole other issue. And yeah, we are just coasting now because everything else is way too dangerous. Also, when it comes to the other industries that I don't have in here, I mean, I wouldn't be getting the dredge because that just doesn't fit onto this map. Trust me, I tried. I might be rolling past a few, I don't mind. Island load what lines up, and everything else is gonna get lined up afterwards. Oh yeah, I also put down a little thing over here. I hope it doesn't cut too much into the storage. If it does, I'll remove it. I just wanted to try it. But yeah, we should be good now at the smelter for the foreseeable future. When it comes to the other industries, really, I would have liked to maybe get another set. I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. They seem to be very much busy with trying to polish this up for 1.0. I've given my thoughts on that in the past, so I won't do it again today. But yeah, another set of industries would have been really nice. The wheat farm stuff, I don't like the water, especially unloading it into the round tank, since that's hard to judge how well it lined up. And everything there is just not worth the time. Apart from the cows. Cow deliveries work out well, they give a decent amount of money, but even the meatpacking plant afterwards, I kinda almost would say rather skip that. Bring the cows to the freight depot. But yeah, I wouldn't mind putting them in here. It was something that I considered leaving out because I just don't really... I don't fancy doing that stuff again. I've done it enough on Aurora Falls, at least for my liking. But in the end, if I was to give this out as a starting option for people who would like to have some stuff laid out, then it should also include those industries, including some cattle cars, so that you can theoretically just go for that industry chain from the get-go. Although I might put some of them into places that are too difficult for starters. Not entirely sure. We'll have to see about it. But yeah, one good thing that would come from having those industries is, well, I talked about having all of the engines in this playthrough. And there's one in particular that is pretty hard to make work, and that is of course the M.I.A, Mr. 5 Mile Top Speed. So yeah, that kind of needs a specific type of industry, and I'm not entirely sure if I have something right now that would work with it. But I could maybe make something work with the cattle farm or wheat farm, meatpacking plant. Ideally for that industry, I would like, for that engine, in order to make that work properly, I kind of would like to have an industry that only has one side. So you don't ever need to go back and forth between the two sides in order to do some stuff. So that disqualifies a lot of things. There's still the water well that doesn't need a helper. And of course the different mines, which already have stuff going on, and I don't think I could make use of a M.I.A there. I could also try a rolling unload, but I'm a bit scared. Having to unload 20 items from a car is a bit much. Hard to find a speed that works with that. But yeah, the pile here it's growing, which is nice. Yeah, but when it comes to the M.I.A, I would like to have an industry with only one side. The ones that only have one side right now are already occupied differently. I could make some stuff work, and theoretically even I would maybe even count something like the sawmill one-sided, at least for the purposes that I need it for. Because the unloading stuff with the logs, it's so long, it's so easy to do a rolling unload that you don't need a helper there, and only on the loading side. But with how I figured out making loading work on that industry, it just wouldn't work with the M.I.A. And as it is right now, that entire industry, the yard is so stretched out, it would be annoying and so boring using the M.I.A. So I don't think I'm gonna be doing that. Let me see, does this still hit the platform? It seems like that. Yep. Okay, 3 more cars to go. Once again, I was hoping to do more today, but yeah, I underestimated the unloading and I wasn't expecting all the issues with the gondolas. Another option, of course, would be to get 2 shays, just having one for each side. That might be a good idea for the wheat farm. But yeah, at this point I'm pretty happy with how all the industries are working out, so I wouldn't be reworking anything that I have to a large extent, unless I come up with a really good idea. It should also be evident that we are kinda getting to a close here by there being more episodes that actually run the trains. I mean, it's partially down to me wanting to run the trains for quite a while and showing you guys, but it was never really possible during the recording because of the performance. But also there aren't that many things that I need to do anymore, so yeah. That means that I'm now focusing more on the stuff that I can still do, which is running the trains instead of working on something here. But that's really not the end of everything quite yet. I still want to do the crude oil industry chain. And I may need to make another episode with this stuff, bringing the cars back, hoping that they won't explode or something. And seeing how that all works out. A bit of rebalancing at the iron mine, getting the heisters, testing those out with 16 of the supply cars and all of that. There's still a few things to do. And the last major track that I'm considering right now to lay out would be, of course, a 1% line from the valley down here coming up to the mountain ridge, switch over into the other valley here. So right now I only have, if I want to go up from this side, I have a 10% line, which of course doesn't work at all, and the 2% track with double switchback, which is a bit of a hassle, and for some of the trains that I want to run, it's too steep as well, so 1% line might be a bit more reachable for some stuff. But it might also interfere with my trek up to the coal mine, so that would definitely be a longer project, but one that I'm definitely down for. Everything else we'll have to see about. But yeah, I think I'm gonna be ending the episode right here. Partially because once I stop the recording, the next button I press is the one on my fan to turn that back on. It's bloody hot here and I'm trying to still do decent episodes and all of that, but it's definitely a lot more difficult with the weather conditions. It's approaching 30 degrees Celsius in this room and yeah, that's not really fun. So yeah, I'm gonna be cooling myself down. If you have similar temperatures and stuff going on, I hope you find a way to do it as well. And with that being said, thanks for watching. See you guys later for the next one and see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Have a good one and bye bye.